Hello and welcome to a new video review, this time about the tactical rifle scope, the Steiner M7XE 4-28x56. Steiner is a very old company, founded in 1947, and in the beginning they produced only binoculars, but later on they started to produce also rifle scopes. Now, today Steiner is a very well-known company. They produce a lot of products for the military, and one of their most known rifle scopes is the M5XE series, which is widely used all around the globe by special forces and military units. The headquarters of Steiner is located in Beirut in Germany, and in 2008 Steiner also joined the Beretta Group, which includes also other companies like Sacco, Victrix, Beretta and so on. The rifle scope I have here has a magnification from 4 to 28, and it has a 56mm objective lens. The outside diameter of the objective is 62mm if you want to mount a night vision or thermal attachment. Now the scope is the successor of the well-known 5-25x56 rifle scope. I think everything on this rifle scope was redesigned. The turrets are completely different, and yeah, it's a completely new rifle scope. It has a 7x zoom factor magnification, and in this series currently only two rifle scopes are available. This one and the smaller model with 2.9 to 20x50 magnification, and also two models with same magnification, so 2.9 to 20 and 4 to 28 with IFS electronics, which is a completely different eyepiece like this one with sensors inside and also a small display in your field of view. This display and this electronics show the shooter what is the temperature, the pressure, how many clicks you need for a given distance, where you are currently with the turrets, and many other stuff you need for precise shot placement. Now the scope, as you can see, is completely made out of metal. It has only two rubberized parts, which is this ring here on the ocular and this ring here on the magnification ring. The rubberized part has also a small throw lever for easier adjustment of the magnification. The scope is, as you could expect for a military product, completely shockproof, so you can mount it on even the strongest calibers like 50 BMG, and Steiner guarantees that the scope will hold its zero. We were also in the Steiner production line, and we saw what kind of abuse the Steiner rifle scopes has to go through before they exit the company. So if everything is okay when they test the scopes, then they can leave the factory. So yeah, they really go through a lot of abuse before they go out. The construction is completely metal, as I said. It is also completely waterproof, up to 20 meters of depth in water, so up to 2 bars of pressure can withstand this scope, which is really a lot. So you can go swim with this scope, and when you come out of the water you can be sure there is no water inside of the scope. It is also completely purged with nitrogen, so you can use the scope in extreme weather conditions, cold or warm, and you will get no internal fogging. Steiner tested these scopes up to minus 46 degrees Celsius and all the way up to 63 degrees Celsius. So extreme conditions, and these scopes performed well. For a 7x zoom factor, this scope is quite short. It is 387 millimeters and also quite lightweight. It has 950 grams. So a lot of smaller magnifications rifle scopes have way over 1 kilogram. So it is really a lightweight rifle scope. It has a 34 millimeters main tube. It is completely made in Germany in their own factory. It is a true mil rifle scope, which means the reticle in this rifle scope is positioned in the first focal plane, which means when you change the magnification, the reticle also gets bigger or smaller. So the mil marks are always the same on the target you aim for. Currently, there are two types of reticles available for this scope. The G2B mil dot and the MSR2 reticle. With the mil dot reticle, the price for this scope is 3,100 euros, and with the MSR2 reticle, the price is 3,200, which is, in my opinion, a really a great price performance ratio for such a rifle scope. The scope also features illumination. In both reticles, only the middle part is illuminated, and even though Steiner says it is a daytime bright reticle, it is also on the illumination here. I would say the illumination is only daytime bright if you look on a very dark target. On a bright sunny day, if you look on a not very dark target, you will probably not see the illumination. But yeah, it is very fine adjustable. It has 11 intensity settings, and between each setting you have an off position. Maybe you can see better like this. So you can immediately come back to your desired illumination setting. Here is also the part I set for the day or nighttime illumination. And on 11 times I would say it is very bright, but not bright enough to use it on the smallest magnification. You will probably not see the illumination. All in all, illumination works perfectly, and on the lowest settings, so 1, 2, 3, it's really barely visible, which is perfect for low light conditions. On the same turret is also the parallax adjustment, and it goes from 50 meters all the way to infinity. It is very nice and precisely adjustable. You can see there is really a lot of space between 100, 200, and then 300 up to 500 is a lot of space, and then up to 1000 meter even more. So you can really precisely adjust the parallax to your target. The parallax wheel feels very smooth, and yeah, it's, in my opinion, it's perfect. I would really like to see if Steiner upgrades it also, that the parallax goes even lower. Let's say 10-15 meters would be perfect in my opinion, because then you can look at the biggest magnification, precisely targets which are very near. Now for the construction, the eyepiece. It's a European style eyepiece, which is very fine adjustable and quickly adjustable. It feels very smooth and is rubberized, as I said before. Then the magnification ring. Also this ring feels very smooth, and it goes from the biggest magnification to the smallest in approximately 180-degree turn. The main tube is 34 millimeters. And now for the turrets. Currently they are available only in milliradian. So one click is exactly 1 centimeter at 100 meters. And the entire elevation range of this scope is 27 mil. There is also the marking here on the turret for 27 milliradians of elevation. Now the clicks or the turrets as a whole are very stiff. You need really a lot of force to make the adjustments. And as you can hear, the clicks are really audible, but also very tactile. They are very crisp. I would even say they are some of the best on the market. I like if the scope or the turret is more difficult to adjust, because then it cannot happen that you somehow accidentally make some clicks when transporting, putting it out of the back and so on. Now the clicks, as I said, are in my opinion perfect, and in one revolution you have exactly 15 mil of travel, so 150 centimeters at 100 meters. When you come to the second revolution, you can also see that this small pin pops out. So let's go back again, wrong direction. You see here, now you don't see the pin, and when you come further, this pin pops out. Like this, you have a mechanical but also a visual turn indicator that you are now in the second revolution. So you have to look to the numbers which are on the upper side. So now we are in 15 mil. This is the entire elevation, so almost 27 mil. When we come to the other side, you can see 0, and then we can go 3 clicks below 0. This is perfect if you zero your scope and then you change your location. You can still make some correction if the shots should be would be higher. So really nice turret in my opinion. The zeroing of the turret is also very easy. You just have to unscrew this screw here and the other one here, and like this you can easily rotate the turret and make your zeroing. So when you're here, let's say, you just have to unscrew, put it back to 0 and screw the screws back in. Like this, your scope is already set. The vintage turret, it's completely the same design as the elevation, and what I really like about this scope is that you can go only 6 mil in one direction. You cannot make a whole revolution, because if you could make a whole revolution, it could happen that you would go to 0 in the opposite direction. Like this, you could make an error for the entire revolution. Many of the scopes on the market have this, but this one does have a stop here, so you cannot make an error. You know now you're on the 6 mil, you have to go back to the opposite direction, so back to 0. It's the same in this direction, so perfect in my opinion. Also for military units there is a part which you cannot make an additional error, let's say. Okay, I think that's all about the turret. The internal elevation is 27 mil, and you have two turns, so it's a double turn turret. With Vintage it's only a half turn in each direction. So yeah, you have a zero stop, it's automatically. When you zero it in, put the turret so that the zero is facing forwards, the zero stop is automatically in, so the zero stop is 3 clicks below zero. It has no locking function, but in my opinion with such stiff clicks you don't even need it, because you really have to apply a lot of force. As I said, I really like such strong turrets for tactical use. Now for the optical performance, the magnification 4:28, 56 millimeters objective lens, so you can use it also in lower light conditions. Steiner claims also a 94 or more than 94% light transmission, so you will really get a bright picture in lower light conditions. 7 times zoom factor and no tunneling effect. You will see a little bit of tunneling if you are completely on the zero or on the maximal magnification, but only on the smallest zoom, up to let's say 4.2. If you're somewhere in the middle of the elevation, this is not visible, so only on the extreme low or extreme high elevation, but also only on the minimal, so 4.2 times magnification, maybe, not more. So it's almost not noticeable. The eye relief is 90 millimeters, so it is safe to use the scope on very strong recoiling calibers. Eye box, in my opinion, is great, especially in the lower magnification. On the bigger magnification it's acceptable, it's not something special, but it is still very good. What do I also noticed is that the scope features, or it has, a little bit of chromatic aberration, so you'll get a bit of the blue tint, let's say, if you focus on a white target. Mostly it's visible only on the white target. It's not a lot, but I would say it is a little bit more than some of the other scopes. Okay, now what do you get in the box? First of all, a cleaning cloth, then the hex wrench for zeroing of your turrets, flip-up covers, which are made of some kind of hard rubber. They are quite nice, I would say, and you can flip them up and lock them back. And lastly, the manual for the rifle scope. Here is also the IFS version, which I mentioned, with this electronic on the ocular. And in this manual you will get, I think, only in German and in English. Okay, here is also French. And in this manual you also get the reticle subtensions and every else you need about the scope. Okay, so now for a short summary. First of all, what are the positives of the scope? I would say the entire build quality. It is built very well, very precisely, I would say. All the parts are very well machined. I like this design. It is also very good optically, except for this chromatic aberration, as I said. It is visible, I would say more than other scopes have, but it is still great resolution and everything. The clicks, in my opinion, are perfect, very stiff. You need a lot of force. Easy zeroing, easy zero stop adjustment, which is already in the turret. Great parallax adjustment, and the price for 3100 for the Mildot version or 3200 for the MSR2 version, it is, in my opinion, acceptable, because all other premium German rifle scope manufacturers or European rifle scope manufacturers are quite more expensive. Room for improvement, what I would, let's say, change or do otherwise. On the windage, firstly, the clicks are very tightly together. So if you look from a different angle, you maybe cannot really see in which click you are in. And because you have here a lot of space, I would make the clicks a little bit more wider one from each other. Would be, in my opinion, even better. Next one is reticle options. There are only 2 reticles available, and there is no Christmas tree style of reticle available, which is, in my opinion, really bad, especially today because of the PRS ELR versions. Many or almost all of the users prefer Christmas tree style reticles, also myself. If Steiner would introduce something like this, I think it would be a great additional selling point. Next one, room for improvement, is elevation range. I think 27 is a lot, but there are many rifle scopes on the market with 30, 35, even 40 mils of travel. I think for ELR or like the 22 ELR, it would be a perfect scope. And lastly, the chromatic aberration, which I also already mentioned. Now, what is the main competition of this scope? Firstly, I think the Kahles K525, so 5-25. It has a very similar price, but it has only 5 times zoom factor. So, because of the lower magnification, Steiner has also a bigger field of view. And because of the bigger magnification, you can define your targets more precisely. What is also better at Kahles is the big reticle selection. Next one, I would say, is the Nightforce NX8, the 4-32. It is also of similar price, but I think because of the 30mm main tube, it is not as durable as this Steiner, because yeah, this Steiner can really withstand a lot of abuse. Next one is the Schmidt & Bender 5-25, the PM2 with double turn turrets. I think Steiner is better. It has no tunneling effect, 7 times zoom factor, and yeah, with Schmidt & Bender you have more reticle options. I think this is the better for the Schmidt & Bender compared to Steiner. And next, March FX Tactical 5-40. It has 8 times zoom factor, but in my opinion not so good turrets like the Steiner. With illumination, it is also for approximately 400 euros more expensive. And lastly, the March FX Tactical 4.5-28 by 52. It is also much more expensive, 550 euros currently, and because of the 52 millimeters objective lens, it is also not as bright in lower light conditions, but the March has bigger field of view. All in all, I think Steiner can compete even with the more expensive rifle scopes on the market. You get maybe better optical quality with more expensive rifle scopes, with less or no chromatic aberration, maybe locking turrets or even more elevation. But for this price, I think the Steiner is a great rifle scope. Okay, this was a short video review of the Steiner M7XE 4-28x56. If you have any additional questions, click the link below, and if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.